Let me first get some stuff ready because I need to charge my phone and go live at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So, you ready, bro? Okay, as the title of the video suggests, we're gonna talk about bad habits, not only just the mere textbook definition of a bad habit, but exactly how it is from, what it is, and what exactly is bad habit, and why do we do what we always want to quit, which is bad habits. I'm gonna be talking about that, and then I'm gonna be breaking down every bad habits that you may have and how you can fix that. So in this past recent days, we've been doing this extreme reset series, and this has been a fucking real purpose for me at the same time. So we talked about finding purpose, finding our goal, finding our current obsession, so that we can base our series on that. And for me personally, bro, it's my goals right here, setting up. Okay, my goals. I just set up my Google calendars so that anyone can book a call with me. I'm taking 1% every single week to quit bad habits, and then I'm done with setting up that. I'm done with uploading my ultimate nofap guide. I'm done with. No, I'm gonna be doing the other things like growing my YouTube channel, and then I'm gonna complete, this year's school sessions, all the chapters. So that is like the goal, and that also including. But a whole obsession is over this series. So I'm planning out things. I'm learning at the same time so that I can teach you guys what I learn, and then how you can use that on your extreme reset period of your life. Because I'm not just learning some bullshit, bro. I'm really like making time. So hopefully you understand the effort that I'm putting in. I'm making time to learn the specific things that will really help you reinvent yourself, basically changing identity, setting goals, and sticking to good habit. And one thing that I know, and I know for sure, is about bad habits, not the specific scientific shits, but the bro science of it, and exactly what you need to do for the best of it. Black tea. So black tea, I like black tea. First of all, write down what are you grateful for today, because let's make this like a ritual, right? Every single time we're going on a live stream for this extreme reset day, every single time we're going, at the beginning of this live stream, let's make this as a ritual to write down what we are grateful for, because that practice in and of itself changes your whole outlook of life. Because most often we don't write what we are grateful for, but if you have been following along with this series, yeah, you're improving in your gratitude skill. So I am grateful for honey, for the honey that I ate some few minutes earlier, because it kind of like clears my throat, and then it has good micronutrients and all that. Give a reason for what you are grateful for, because oftentimes we don't express gratitude. And like I said, gratitude is a skill, just like those money making skills, persuasion, sales, marketing, all of that. Those skills are like the higher level skills, but the core fundamentals skills are like mindfulness, gratitude, some things that you can just imagine right now, right? Like communication, basic soft helpful for your mental health, especially when we're talking about like gratitude skill and skill. But hey, now you can write down the second thing that you're grateful for. Just imagine it in your mind, but the best suggestion that I'll give you is imagine right at the same time. And of course, I'm doing like three things. I'm imagining, I'm writing, and then I'm talking at the same time. So we have Ricky. Ricky, what up? What up? What up? What up? So I'm gonna write down I'm grateful for Ricky, right? Because he's also a member of our community on Discord, and he's an old subscriber of mine, knowing each other for a while. for a couple of months now. So I'm grateful for Ricky too. And what can I sacrifice today? Actually, I forgot to mention what do I sacrifice in my last live stream. But I've written down certainly, and it's the sacrifice of my identity. So I'm willing to sacrifice my identity in order to become a better identity. So we're gonna go through all of that identity and all that shit. That's gonna be like day 12, which is tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about becoming the best version of yourself, and then we're gonna put that into practice for the rest of the extreme guide. So if you have been through this series, we're not just doing this for one time. We're not doing just for one day or one month, or it's not like a 30 days challenge, but it is like a lifetime. This is where you like extremely reset and then see the most change in your life. So I'm gonna include as hard shit as possible so that you can suffer a lot in order to change your identity, because nothing in life comes easy. You still have to put in the work and all that shit. So what can I sacrifice today? What can I sacrifice today? I can sacrifice... Yeah, I have already sacrificed playing guitar for now. So that is the thing that I sacrifice. You know what? I think I should be journaling more these days. So I'm gonna sacrifice... I can sacrifice time for journaling. Journaling more, because these days I'm taking a piece of myself, not gonna lie. I'm just writing what I'm grateful for, and what can I sacrifice every single day, and what are the main things that happened today. I'm not doing deep journaling these days, which is, I think, kind of like a thing that I should get into. So we're done with the gratitude and sacrifice, the GS ritual that we have. Okay, gratitude and sacrifice. Black tea. So I'm gonna be going with my friends real soon. We're gonna play badminton, some sports, which is what brings us to number one of learning about bad habits. Okay, number one, the more you socialize with the people that you surround yourself with, no matter who they are, the more you become like them. You are the average of the 5 person you spend time with. Let's forget about the basic scientific details about what a habit actually is. Let's first focus on why it is, right? So a bad habit is basically something that is bad. It is relative, first of all. It is relative as fuck. Bad habit for you may not be a bad habit for me. Bad habit for me may not be a bad habit for you. Maybe a bad habit that I consider can be like eating junk food. But if you're a type of person who is like a purpose, having a purpose for eating junk food, then for you it may not be a bad habit. For example, for me, video gaming is a bad habit. It's not a thing that I want to do. I consider it as a bad habit, and certainly not a thing that I want to do. But for a professional gamer, those esports gamer, video gaming, that is like their whole career, their whole like purpose. So again, it is relative. But whatever bad habit in general, it's like fapping, masturbation, eating a lot of junk food, net surfing, scrolling through Instagram every single time. Those are the bad habits. Why do we do that? In order to cope with stress. I'm gonna break this live stream as simple as possible, because I've already talked about bad habits a lot of times. I've already talked about bad habits in a lot of videos, so I'm gonna break this simple as possible. You're doing bad habits right now, whatever they are, in order to cope with your stress in your life. How do we stop coping in your stress in your life? By outbeating the pleasures that you get from bad habits through the pleasures that you can get from the desired habit. So you can start meditation, you can start all those good habits. Basically, meditation really helps, because it's like when you are doing bad habits, you're mindless as fuck. So when you are improving your mindful skill, that helps you to become more present at the moment and more of a willpowered person, more patient person, more like a person with a long ass temper, to the point where you don't just lean into your emotions. You just think rationally, mindfully, like a fucking stoic. You start improving your life to the point where bad habits ain't shit anymore. That's basically the thing. Because in order for you to remove bad habits in your life, you need to replace it with something else, like good habits. So just by this mere effort and intention of quitting bad habits, that ain't gonna fucking work. You need to replace that bad habit with something else at the same time when you are trying to quit it. So the basic things that I want you to know is that it is gonna take time, first of all, especially like considering nofap and video games and junk food. It's gonna take time, but you still get to have this experience over time, these learnings that will help you improve more and more. And with all this, I think it's very important for you to just prioritize on identity first. Because right now, if you're doing bad habits, you see yourself as someone who does that bad habit. But what if you were to like just gaslight yourself in a way that you are lying to yourself and saying that you don't play video games even though you play? What happens then? That you don't play video games anymore. When you see yourself as that type of person who don't play video game, you don't feel like playing video game because that's not the type of person you are. But whenever you are still finding yourself to play video game, this just is the craving of that pleasure that you get from playing video game, from that bad habit, and not that bad habit itself. But if that pleasure were to be received by other activities like getting success in your business, or getting some clients in your business, or getting some personal brand growth in your whatever personal brand you have, Instagram, YouTube, then you would get the pleasure to the point where you don't need to get any extra pleasures from fapping. And be careful in this, because you don't want to dopamine overload, which is basically you getting good grades and you want to get it like more, you want to get more pleasure because you already got this good feeling, so you want to feel more better by working out that day. And then it's fine, it's good, it's fine to work out, but you want to couple that up with playing video games and feeling the pleasure. And then you already feel so good to the point where you want to eat junk food because you got good grades at that particular day. With this rise of dopamine and stacking of dopamines, there's gonna be a fall. So you must be very aware of this. There's no like practical solution for this rise and fall. You just gotta be aware and know that everything is not supposed to be perfect. Even when you have a fall in dopamine, which of course you will. Dopamine means basically those situations. The fall in dopamine is like those situations where you feel less in energy. You feel like doing bad habits, you don't feel like doing good habits at all. No matter if you have the intention to, you don't have enough dopamine to get motivated to do the good habits. So it's like you accept that, yeah, of course, you're not always supposed to feel like doing those good habits, but you gotta do it anyway. That is something that I talked about yesterday. Doing it anyway, making it easy, 2 minute rule, the perfect execution formula based on this conservation of dopamine principle. So basically, we're gonna get bored as fuck day after tomorrow. We're gonna fucking stare at the wall. Are you up for it? Yes or no? Yes, right, because we want to conserve our dopamine, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So stay tuned, because tomorrow we're gonna talk about the 2.0 self. I've talked about identity a lot, because a lot about quitting bad habit. It's about changing your identity as someone who don't do the bad habit, but as someone who does the other good habits that you want to do. Because if your life was perfect, first of all, you wouldn't do those bad habits. And if I gave you an option to do the bad habits or not, you would always choose not to do the bad habits. You would always choose to do something better, because in your mind you have something better to do. In your mind you want that productive life that comes from quitting or even managing bad habits. It's the identity. Most people fuck up with this. They try to fix the real world stuff, all of these symptoms of eating junk food, all of these symptoms of fapping, because fapping is a symptom of a bigger problem. It's fapping that is the symptom, it's eating junk food that is the symptom, playing video games, those are all symptoms. The main problem is your mental side of things, basically your mental health and your self image, your identity. Basically self image, identity, those are the same word. It's your identity. You need to fix your identity and your mental health. But the beautiful thing about this is that once you fix your identity, to the point where you are having this identity of a good mental health person, you don't need to fucking fix your mental health because you already have the identity. You act in such a way that your mental health is good. You do those practices in such a way that those practices help your mental health. So you don't like force yourself to meditate or journal or anything. You just become the person who does that, who already fixed the mental health side of thing. So we're gonna talk about identity tomorrow. Improve your life one step at a time, always.